What is up, everybody? Sorry about the little technical hiccup there. What is up? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020, Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. I see family is already jumping in on a Friday. Good to hear. Good to hear. As always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And Ryan will be joining us momentarily. He's just walking his two wonderful kids to school. So he'll be with us in just a moment. And we're doing a Freestyle Friday. You know, what do you want to chat about? What do you want to put on the table? Whatever you want, let's rap about it. Going back to our conversation on Monday, we talked about reparations. What are your thoughts? Also, too, I want to thank out. Some people did reach out to me on Monday about getting resources, free resources. So I'm looking forward to chatting with some people in the next week or so to see if I can help them get some free resources to help accelerate themselves either personally, or I think it was more professionally in their businesses, entrepreneurship, etc., etc. And it is Friday. So it looks like in Toronto, anyways, we're slowly but surely getting to springtime. We're supposed to be getting some rain and mixed precipitation tomorrow, but it's all good. So put in the comment section, where are you chiming in from? Where are you chiming in from today? Would love to hear from you and say hello, give you a shout out. Excuse me. It's a little congested, but we're good. We're good. So Freestyle Friday, we do have some guests coming up on Monday. On Monday, we have some representatives from the Canadian Council for Youth Prosperity. And they have a program called Black Seed, and it's all about getting employment for our young people. So that's another subject on top this morning, getting ready for Monday. Employment, lack of employment, entrepreneurship, whatever you want to chat about, we're more than happy to. Actually, just before I got live here, I did just seeing what's going on in the world. There is a release of a Whitney Houston album today. Good morning, gentlemen. No headphones today. Okay. All right, Fitness IQ. Is that yourself? I don't usually wear headphones, so I hope that's all on your end. No headphones. I hope you can hear us okay. You can hear us audibly. We're audibly coming in well. Are we visually looking okay? Is the background okay? I always like to keep my backgrounds up to date and current. You don't see the same one for too long of a period of time. So good to hear. Fitness IQ Cam. Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, we need to have set another date to have anyone come on the show. That's what we got to do, because we did that a while back and it came off really well. And Fitness IQ Cam came on. So she held up herself really well. And I think Ray McMillan also came on. So when Ryan comes on today, we'll decide. I'm thinking maybe next Friday, end of the month. Oh, no, we can't. Actually, last Fridays of the month, we have someone on from buyblacks.com. So maybe the following week, we can have someone on. So that's going on. So talk to me, people. What's going on in your world today? What do you got coming on for the weekend? I see more people piling in. Shout yourself out. Tell us where you're logging in or chiming in from. Put it in the chat. We'll give you a shout out. I see some people slowly but surely coming in. What do you have planned for your weekend? Are you finally looking forward, at least in this area of the world, to some spring weather? As the first day of spring for this year officially was on Tuesday. So give us what you want to chat about this morning. Are you watching the NCAA basketball, men's and or women's stuff going on in the States? In Toronto, Mitzi Hunter, I was told, is going to be running for the mayorship of Toronto. So what do you think about Mitzi Hunter? Very established Black woman politician provincially, represents an area a little east of myself in Scarborough. Okay. Oh, good question. Ray, good morning, folks. Did anyone tune into the budget? Yeah, I tuned into it, and very interesting. You bring that up, Ray. Ontario budget was tabled yesterday. No, nothing to help the citizens. It was like the biggest budget ever in Ontario history, and all the money is going to infrastructure, whether it's highways, whether it's hospitals, but nothing to help the average everyday citizen. No tax breaks, no nothing, not at all, nothing at all. So that's what I heard. Ray, did you tune into it? I did catch it. Good morning, Carol. How are you from Brampton? Fantastic. Yeah, yesterday's Ontario budget. Did anyone even pay attention? But yeah, no tax breaks, no incentives to help the citizens of Ontario. But the government of Ontario is saying they're going to have a balanced budget within the next 2 years. Actually, they're saying within 2 years' time they're going to have a $200 million surplus. So that's what's going on high level about Ontario's budget. Anybody else? Good topic, Ray. Very, very good. Very, very good topic. Especially for Ontarians' budget, because it is challenging times. If you do read the reports in Canada and the United States, inflation is slowly dropping down, but food prices are still going up double digits on a yearly basis. So how are you dealing with inflation? How are you dealing with the rising costs of everything? I don't think there's too many things that are not going or staying the same or not going down in price. The only thing I know that really stays consistent in price is bananas. And actually, I just got back on the banana kick because I'm getting back into smoothies. And I've noticed that bananas have been the same price forever and ever and ever. So that's the only thing I know that's staying the same in price. Anything else? I don't think so. So anybody else have anything? Yeah, chime in, say where you're coming in from, and we will rock with the topic. We are Freestyle Friday today. And again, on Monday, we have representatives from the Canadian Council for Youth Prosperity, and they're going to be talking about their Black Seed program, focusing on Black youth employment. And then next Friday, we have someone in from buyblacks.com, one of their writers discussing an article. So we'll be able to, they'll be able to talk to that on Monday to prepare you for next Friday. Anybody else? It's a quiet morning, I guess. Is everyone tired from this week? What other thing? I have something I want to chat about a little bit. There are 3 events, at least two, if I'm not sure, 3 events going on in Toronto today, all targeted at Black men, which I think is a fantastic thing to have 3 events going on for Black men. The only concern I have is, so if you're a Black man, they're all targeting basically the same demographic of Black men. Which one you're going to go to? I think one happens this afternoon and then 2 happening tonight. One's a paid event and the other one is like a gathering, but 3 events same day. Which one you're going to choose? Maybe you can go to all 3. Most Black men I know wouldn't have the time, unfortunately, to be in all 3 of them, but do so. And I wish one of the events would have thought about us to come on and help amplify our event. But hey, the more I know, the less I understand. That's all I'm going to say. So again, Freestyle Fridays today. Carol, Ray, Finance IQ, anything else you want to chat about? I want to get some thoughts about. Ryan should be with us by bottom of the hour. So what is going on with yourselves? How are you surviving? Are you surviving or are you thriving? Or are you wanting to thrive? Well, even more so. So just want everyone to come on here. Okay. With the talks about Chinese interference, has anyone looked at how it's impacting or not impacting us? Good subject, Carol. And it's interesting that I know the media is covering it here in Canada. So for those who are not aware, there has been a number of reports that the government of China in the last Canadian national election interfered or, had had or were trying ways to favor the election in their way. And I believe, if not mistaken, Carol, there was a gentleman, a representative from the Liberal federal government, who resigned from caucus because he was one of the people alleged to be involved working for the Chinese government during the election. And I think sometimes, again, we don't take things seriously. We think, oh, well, it's okay, it can't happen here. That's really serious stuff. So that's a very good topic, Carol. Very good topic. But again, the challenging part here, well, actually, I know a number of Black Canadians that don't even vote. So if they're not even voting, I don't know if their level of interest on a story like that will be that high. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But again, it all gets into the area of, how much do we or should we be involved in the political process? I think we should. I think, yeah, politics is rather important. I also think, though, business is rather important. Economic development is rather important. So I think those two go hand in hand, especially. But really good topic you brought up there. Carol, what are your thoughts from your lens? How do you feel the Chinese interference, alleged Chinese interference in our last election is impacting people like us? Or do we even care? Do we even care about that? So good topic, really good topic. Well done. Like that. That's the first time we've ever brought up that subject on the Morning Vibe. So well done. So I definitely, Carol, you are keeping a depth of what's going on in the news cycle. Some relevant things that aren't being talked about a lot, especially I don't even think from a Black Canadian lens. I don't even think we even chat about that. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't have probably brought it up just freely on the platform today. So great stuff. So what else is going on, family? We've got good stuff going on already. Chinese interference in the election. Yesterday's Ontario. Okay, I think we should care, but I need to delve more deeply into it. Yes, I agree. Which makes me think, Carol, I'm just putting it out there. Would you like to see, Carol, and then maybe others, we have someone come in once a month on the Morning Vibe and talk about the political scene? Is that something you would like? Just thought about that. Got a LinkedIn user. Yay, LinkedIn user. Have you guys discussed measures people need to take for the upcoming recession? Arguably something we've already now. So I think we sort of discussed that, but you know what? That's a great idea. Now, in 2 weeks' time, we have Wayne Harris coming back with his Financial First Fridays. Would you like that topic for him to address? Like, how did measures people need to take for the upcoming recession? LinkedIn user and others. So I'll argue something we're in now. The question is it going to get worse? Like with bank rates allegedly stabilizing, is it going to get any worse? Okay, Carol says, oh, that would be great. Okay, so I'm going to put that down on my digital notepad to see if we can get someone in once a month. Talk about politics. So, Carol, would you just want someone to talk about Canadian politics or just politics in general? Okay, and LinkedIn user who said you want upcoming recession, would that be a topic you'd like Wayne Harris to talk about? Handling the recession or upcoming recession. So put it in the chat. Would like to hear. Yes. In Ottawa right now, President Joe Biden is visiting Ottawa. Speaking of Pierre Trudeau, seems to be it is a quick and quiet visit. It's 27 hours. That's all we're worth. 27 hours. But at least it's better. The previous president of the United States didn't even come into Canada when he was in office. So 27 hours in and out. My goodness. So good stuff, Ray. Yes, excessive violence in Haiti seems to be heading to a state of emergency, and that tags along with what you're saying about President Biden's visit. It's reported that what President Biden wants Canada to send in forces into Haiti. And right now, President Trudeau is not really feeling it. He's saying, no, don't want to go there. Don't want to go there. So that's a really good, actually, thanks, Ray. If anyone knows anyone who could give insight on what's going on with Haiti, please reach out to me. Really, really would appreciate that. Please reach out to me. Which reminds me, forgot to mention, please, if you can, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. If you do, not only subscribe, but hit the notification button so you get notified when we're doing upcoming shows. I already have something ready for this Sunday's Black Canada Talking. We have something posted for Monday. We've got a number of guests coming up over the next 3 weeks on my Black Canada Talking show, which is on Sunday afternoons at 5 p.m. If you can't do that, would you like to like us on Facebook or wherever you're watching us? Please click on like or subscribe and tell other people about it. Tell other people about it. All right. We got some other things going on. Yeah, the Haiti situation, I don't know a lot about it, but has there been a country over the last number of years that have had to go through more than Haiti? There's civil unrest happening there right now, plus earthquakes. So much going on. And you know what? I appreciate people piling in. So we're doing a Freestyle Friday. So give us some other things either you want to talk about or just bring to the table today that we can just chat about. Hey, long time no see, Ripple Effect Circle. How are things going? By the way, Ripple Effect Circle, when are you coming on the Morning Vibe? I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Hayton, preparing for the impending recession is an important topic that our community needs to dive deeper into. Shall do that. I'm going to give a shout out to Wayne Harris today to see if that's something he'd like to talk about for the next Morning Vibe appearance that he will be having, which will be on, I'll give you the date, April 7th. And also, Hayden, need to chat with you back channel. I saw you sent me some information suggesting a certain organization should be on the platform. So I'm going to text you today and see if you can give me contact information in regards to how I can get a hold of them and get them on the show. But I really appreciate you reaching out to me. It would even be nice if you could text me your email address. That would even be better. But I leave that up to you. No problem. No problem. So good stuff. We got people coming on. Yeah, Hayton got good subjects, upcoming subjects. And this is what I like when I do the freestyle. I want to hear what's going on with all of you. So if we can possibly bring on someone on the platform to speak to what you want to be chatted about, because without you as an audience, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Also, what's another thing that's going on in Toronto? Monday, the Canadian Black Chambers of Commerce is having an expo in the airport and out near the airport area in Toronto. So that's going on basically all day on Monday. So that's another thing that is going on. If you want to check it out, probably most people will be working, but I think it goes to like 8 o'clock or so. So that's another thing you can check out. So what's going on? What else is going on, family? So I've got my notepad here. Okay. Ray says the recession will impact every household very differently, and it has to do less with income and more with resiliency, but a good topic nevertheless. Love you to, if you could go a little bit deeper than that, Ray. I like that, saying it has to do with resiliency and it'll affect every household differently. Absolutely. Some it will definitely impact more than others, but a good topic nevertheless. Okay. But yeah, I agree. Some people will take advantage of the recession. So I people that I listen to that I respect when it comes to, increasing wealth, aka such as buying land or buying stocks, the recession is the best time for them because they buy low, hold on to it, and just when the recession finishes, they've been able to buy either stocks or land at a low value and just watch it go up. They hold on to it. And I think that was something we said also on Monday. I don't know if I did or not, or that Wealthy people, a lot of wealthy people, what they do is when they buy a stock or buy a piece of land, they hold on to it. Even if the price goes down a little bit, eventually, the old song, what goes down must come up, or what goes up must come down, but it also will end up going up again most times if you hold on to it. All right. Ripple Effect Circle says, now that I'm back in communication, I will come on as soon as you want me to. Let's talk after the show. Okay, fantastic. So Ripple Effect Circle, do you know how to get in touch with myself? Do you know how to get in touch with me? Because what I can do is I can put my email address up here right now. You know, I use it if you want to promote your business or service on the show, but you can also contact me if you want to be a guest, or, suggesting someone that would make a good guest. There's my email address, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. So please reach out. Would love to have you on and sharing what's going on in your world. Is that fair? Wonderful. Wonderful. So let's make that happen. Ripple effect. Love this. So lots of people sharing. Everyone's getting ready now. Okay. Hayden says Haiti is being punished. Pardon me. Haiti is being punished for having the audacity to be the first nation to kick out their colonizers. Interesting lens there. That is a very interesting point. Very, very interesting. Hayden, next time we do an open mic or have invited people on, you got to come on, man. You got to come on. Next up, Ripple Effect Circle says elections are coming up. Let's make the subject of bias funding a campaign issue. Oh, speaking of that too, in the Toronto election, also former Metropolitan Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders running for mayor. Would you vote for him? Does he have a chance? Does he have a chance? It's an interesting when it comes to elections, and this is my lens, nobody else's. Everyone has their own lens. People have to realize with politics, for a politician to win these days, obviously has to have, they have to have a campaign. Campaigns are not cheap. Campaigns are not cheap. They need to be funded. And a lot of times, campaigns are funded by organized interests, aka business. So when that person wins, the first person they're usually serving are the people who donated financially or resource-wise to the campaign. A lot of times they do that before they serve the constituents. So I think it's a very, very good point you bring up, Ripple Effect Circle, about elections coming up, talking about bias funding as a campaign issue. And also, you know what? I'm actually going to reach out to Mitzi Hunter. Thank you for that. And also reach out to Mark Saunders. See if they'll come on. A lot of times this is the way I get ideas to have people on the platform. Someone brings a subject to me, a person, and say, okay, let's reach out to them. So I've known Mitzi Hunter, not really well, but I known her even before, like when she first started out in politics, long time ago. So kudos for her for throwing her hat into the mayoral ring for the running Toronto. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Okay, Ray says about Haiti, that was more than 200 years ago. Much of the turmoil in Haiti is internal. All right. Absolutely. Let me just see something. Okay, I got a multi-purpose here. Next thing, do non-white politicians get significant financial support or support from white voters? Ray, I don't know if they do. I think they get more support from business or organized interests more than just individual white voters. I think it's more organizations, like maybe individually, they get contributions from organizations? Oh, sorry. Let me correct. Do non-white politicians get significant financial from white voters? Good question. I think a very good person in that regard would be someone like a Michael Thompson. I think that would be one of the areas that would be very, very interesting to see with Michael Thompson, who was at one time deputy mayor of Toronto until he got involved in a scandal, and he had to, resign from being deputy mayor. But I know that from a lot of reliable sources, he had a significant amount of white support, white financial support. So good. That's a really good question. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is a really good question. On the ball as always, Ray McMillan. Do non-white politicians get significant from yes, I would, depending who it is, but I think a Michael Thompson, I have a strong feeling got a lot of significant support from financial support from white voters. Definitely. I think, and he's been a mayor, he was deputy mayor for so long, and he's been so entrenched. And, he also represents my riding. So I can tell you the support he got. Okay. The star of the show is finally shown up. Ryan Knight. How was the morning walk?
It was brisk, get the blood flowing. But
yes,
it was good. It was
What's
good.
What's been going on?
So I was listening to the topic, and yes, some very interesting characters are in the mayoral race.
Characters. Nice. You don't even say people, you say characters.
We should do an office pool over under how many candidates will there be for this race, the Toronto mayor's race. I would put it at 35.
How many is it right now?
At last count, like 16.
Wow.
And nominations aren't even open. I think that's April 12th.
Yeah. Is Nia Singh going to be running?
He said he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's a number of melanated people throwing their hat in the ring. I don't know if you had
Chloe, heard. She said that she's running.
Who?
Chloe. Last name was.
Oh, yes. She was
last time.
She was third place in the last election.
Yeah. And so Rob Davis, I've heard he said he's running. So Chief.
What?
Yes. So Rob Davis is a former counselor, had been working, managing some people's campaigns, but now he's jumping right in. And a big thing that he said is he's going to stop the proceedings on changing the name, the Dundas Street, the name change, and use the money for something else. But it was interesting that he's tackling that kind of right out the gate.
Wow. So you've got melanated people, Mitzi Hunter, Rob Davis, Mark Saunders.
Yes.
Nia Singh. Yes. Mark Saunders declared this week.
Right.
And again, someone told me last night, fairly reliable source, that also Mitzi Hunter. So there's at least 4 melanated people running.
But I'm shocked that Mitzi Hunter's not going for the liberal leadership. Like, I would have thought.
Well, and it's interesting. I was having a conversation with someone last night. LinkedIn user, I will get to your Bill Clinton comment in just a moment, that if you become mayor of Toronto, you are. Is there anyone more powerful politically in Canada other than the Prime Minister of Canada?
Wow.
Well, think about it.
That's true.
Well, the only thing that may be bigger is maybe Premier of Ontario, but the thing is, that's Premier of a whole province. Toronto has enough population to be its own province,
right?
And economic activity to be its own province.
Wow,
and that's another thing. That's another thing too. Just thinking about that, with Mark Saunders running, many people say Mark Saunders is a favorite person of the current premier.
And so Premier Ford did say that he did not want to see a lefty get into
Yes.
the mayorship of Toronto. And
Yes.
Mark Saunders, a declared conservative, he had tried to run in the previous election and wasn't successful. So I could see Premier Ford supporting that. But I'm sure he's not the only conservative.
Oh, you know who else? Okay. Let me another person that's rumored to be running, Olivia Chow.
Ah, that is interesting.
There's a number of reports saying that people are pushing for her to win. I think
Right.
if Olivia Chow runs, she becomes the favorite.
Yeah, because when was it Mayor Tory's first run, it was up against her and Ford. I believe
I
it was
think
those
so.
three. But then I don't think she ran when he
No,
went.
she's been out of politics for a while, but
Yeah.
I think she could garner a lot of the liberal vote.
Nice.
And demographically, she positioned herself really well. She's a lady. She's
Right.
left of center. And there will be people remembering that she was married to the late Jack Layton.
And there's another lady that sent me a LinkedIn message, B. Thompson Taffy.
Yes, I know that name.
She said that she is running for mayor as well. So 2023 Toronto mayoral candidate.
So here's the question: with so many people running, you know, of course you expect to win, but why are they running?
You see her face.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see it. Okay. We got a number of comments, so let's catch up on. This is what I love. We love doing a lot of time. Just put the subject out there. Bang. So LinkedIn user. Sorry. Haiti's woes are multiplied drastically from Bill Clinton's tenure, and the Democrats have plundered much of Haiti's resources under the use of aid.
Under the guise of aid.
Guys of aid. Yeah, that happens a lot with America, with China, with Russia. When they go into help a country, at the end of the day, the biggest person they're helping is themselves. So that's a whole thing. Okay, Ripple Effect says we need to get poor black people to vote in big number. Getting money from people means you owe them something when you win. We need to face that reality. Absolutely. Right. People have to realize that about politics. That you have to realize about politics. Now the thing is getting here, but there's even a bigger question. More and more people think it's not worth voting. Is it worth voting these days? Okay, that's another question.
That's where, because if your only options are like bad and worse, then is there any reason to vote? Because you're gonna, if nobody is for you, it's very difficult to show the importance of voting.
So do black people who know who? That's a good question. Who can vote? That's another conversation. But peace.
See,
Ray says, do multiple black candidates running make the chance of a black mayor almost impossible, given the different interests in the city? Most voters tend to vote personalities over issues. Fully agree on that. They divert on personality more than issues. Fully agree.
Especially
Ray says Olivia Chow. Yeah. Olivia Chow, Ray says Olivia Chow possibly has the best shot on her time in municipal politics. Toronto folks know her very well. Liberal and female. Check and check.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think the whole, and before you came on, I don't know if you were listening, Ryan, while you were getting your steps in, that I'm going to see if I can reach out to either Mitzi Hunter. Actually, we should reach out to all the black candidates and see if they'd like to be on.
Yeah. I think
let's see who wants to come on.
Yes.
You know, that would be very interesting. Let's see. And LinkedIn user goes, foreign aid is just a euphemism for money laundering. Some people would say facts to that. Some people would say facts to that. Ray says Haiti's votes were exacerbated. Sorry, man, I'm getting worse. Under Papa and Baby Doc regimes. Yes, long before Clinton. Yes, I agree. Haiti is controlled by warlords. Absolutely. USAID can't solve that problem. Agreed. And I think maybe
Wow.
that's what Prime Minister Trudeau is saying. We don't want to send troops in there. We can't fix that mess. We don't want to get involved in that mess. That's
I
an
can see
internal
that.
thing. That's an internal thing.
There's
What
a
else has been
gentleman, oh my gosh, Thierry Lindor, that is in Montreal, and he's part of Face. He does some excellent Instagram lives talking about the history of Haiti stuff. One thing that stuck out was how the foreigners came in and made Haiti change the types of pigs that they raised.
Oh
From they
wow.
used to be like black pigs, and he was explaining like black pigs and how they're so resilient. But then the West, or I guess East or West, they came in and made them use the pink pigs that we know. But they're so fragile that they die easily if you don't take care of them. It was just fascinating to hear more about the way outsiders can influence the food, especially food and import export, and damage people's economies.
Wow. Pigs.
Yeah, it's a massive industry, right?
It is. Well, pork, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Pork. I don't eat pork, or very
Mm.
rarely eat pork, but I know people. Oh, my dad still loves his jerk pork. He will sit
Yes.
down. He one of his joys is to sit down in his chair and knock some jerk pork, man.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's at that age. He don't care. Just like I've lived
Listen,
long. I've lived
he's
so
lived his
long that
life.
if he's just enjoying his jerk pork and all that stuff.
That's good.
What else is going on with you? What's been going on this week?
So really trying to end off our youth entrepreneurship program that we did with Delta Family Resource Center. So tomorrow is graduation day. So the students got to practice their pitches last Saturday, and this Saturday they're going to pitch in person. So do want to send a shout out to, actually, I'll invite some of them to come on, because we'd love to give them a bit of the spotlight. They've done such great work over the last 8 weeks, and now ready to really launch and dive deeper into their businesses. So I'm proud of the kiddos. And as you know, Detailing Nights has ours coming up in the summer. So a lot of exciting youth entrepreneurship developing.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Very, very nice. Definitely good. Definitely good. Anything else that was going on this week? I feel honored. Let's see. With seeds. So interesting. The inspired thought says the same thing that happened with the pigs is happening with seeds all over the world.
Seeds, yeah, demanding them use, I guess, their own approved seeds, and it's in some areas it's actually damaging the agriculture. But this is what happens when people have that leverage over countries, and they
Nice.
call it aid. Like they're like, "Oh, we're helping you by giving you these seeds," and it's actually not helping.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Ray says, has anyone been getting any spam calls? When don't you these days? In recessionary time periods, scams increase significantly. So yeah, family, let's just take, just keep a little record in the back of your alleged mind and tell us if you're getting more spam calls. I actually admit, for the first time in a long time, I got one the other day. I don't answer them. I just, to be truly honest, if I get a phone call and I don't see a name to it, I don't answer it. That's why.
Yeah, I want to see the message that they leave.
That's what voicemail is for. But with my phone, it
Yes.
actually says suspected spam call, so I even more don't answer it. And one of the things that I do a lot is that if I get your contact information, I will put it in my phone ASAP.
Gotcha.
ASAP, put it in the phone. So when you call, I know who you is.
Yes.
Kumbayan. I hope I got that right. If I did, it's my head, not my heart. How do we encourage civil engagement in the Black communities in Toronto? Many in the community simply don't care. Question. What do you think, Ryan, on that one?
But I know I didn't care before, because you never really engage with the process. It's only at election time people come to your door and it's like, hey, make sure you vote. But there's so many things that happen in between elections, like committee meetings, votes on specific topics. Those are the things that we have to get ourselves engaged in. Then when it comes to the voting time, we actually understand what's at stake. But if we don't really know how politics works or even how the city is run, people just think garbage is picked up and the toilets flush properly all by itself. It's like, no, there's so much moving pieces to the city that you can pick anything and really get engaged with it, and then you start to learn the process, and especially how decisions are made. People think you can just make a phone call and then get things done. There's a whole process to how you make things happen in the city. So we have to get more engaged, like they were saying in the comment earlier. And yeah.
No, go ahead. Keep on going.
Well, I remember getting engaged with federal politics, or provincial, because of a school trip that we did in high school. So our teacher, they would take interested students and say, hey, we're going to go to Queen's Park, the one that's in Toronto, and sit in the legislature and understand how like laws are made and how it's argued, and hey, you have to speak to the speaker. That stuff didn't make sense to me, but because I was brought on that field trip, now when I see it, I understand kind of the role of the speaker and why people aren't supposed to just yell at each other. It's interesting how it's set up, but we have to engage in it to understand it. If you're just an observer, just kind of watching and not knowing what's going on, it all just looks so confusing. And perhaps it was designed to be confusing for a reason. Because who knew? I was like, why does it have to be this way?
Exactly. And, for those who don't realize it, the level of government that impacts you the most on a day-to-day basis is municipal.
Yes, let that toilet not flush one day.
Back up.
Then you'll see who really has the leverage. But it's so true. Municipal, and that's where what Ray was saying about personalities. It's so important to be known in municipal politics, because you're really going by name recognition and the person's personality. It doesn't have a lot to do with the party politics.
Yeah, that's very, very, very good point. This is where demographic information be so valuable. I would love to know, in the last Toronto election, what percentage of Black Torontonians or melanated Torontonians voted.
Yeah, does anybody track that?
Well, but now I know that many people are saying we need demographics. Is that tracked?
I don't even know. I had to doubt it.
I'd like to know. Take a look online and see. Hey, we're in a lovely conversation here.
I want to see U.S. info.
Yeah.
I gotta get.
So the Inspired Thought says, even if we did care, we don't have enough people in any one riding to influence anything above the municipal level. Very good point. Numbers don't lie. That's a really good point. There are only a few concentrated areas, I think, not only in this city, in this country, that we can really be swing. But what we need to do, this has been done before. And again, where Brian used to live, the city of Brampton, perfect example. Look what the East Indian population did to Brampton. They basically run things.
And like, we should pick a city and take it over. Because we should say, hey, whichever city is up and coming, make that be an actual destination point. Then, like they're saying, you would have that concentration to leverage your vote, and voting as a block as well. I don't know why Brampton was chosen by South.
Doesn't matter if it was chosen; they did it, and let's take that to another extension. They basically run things in Brampton, and again, use the East Indian community as an example. They have representatives in cabinet positions in the federal government.
Yes, absolutely.
That are from Brampton.
Yes.
So what
Hey,
the
the
whole thing
blueprint's
is,
there.
it's not reinventing the wheel. It's just whether we want to do it or not. We have a model.
Yep.
We like it just came to my mind, my alleged mind. Can we create a Wakanda here in Canada?
Hey, Steve Anderson calls Shelburne the next Wakanda. So maybe that's where, but that's high up north, man. It's not even north, but it is a trip.
Yeah. But then, well, I'll hold my comment. Well, I'll say it now. That's where Ray McMillan say, don't think Toronto being the center of the universe. There's lots of land in this country. It's a big
Absolutely.
country. Ripple Effect Circles says, I'm meeting with someone this weekend to start a civic action campaign. I could invite him to join me on the show. Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. You've got my
Yes.
email address. Use it. As I
Yes,
say,
yes.
you got my email address. Use it. Big time. All right. Let's go here. Ray says the engagement comes with owning property in the city. Tenants' voice and engagement has zero weight in politics. Again, unfortunately, we live in a capitalistic system. Again, my lens more than a democracy. If you don't own anything, your voice is very limited. Property tax dollars at work. If you're not, if you don't have a ownership voice, a lot of times you don't have anything. Again, Brian used to live in Brampton, so he can tell us more than anybody else how the East Indian population just came in and they just took over. They just took over things at the municipal level, which now has transferred to the federal level.
Right. Yes.
Because a lot of times we complain, and I think, oh, the Jewish people did this, the Jewish people did that. You don't have to look at the Jewish people. The East Indian people did it.
Yes.
They're a modern example of how they just do things. Okay. Kubaan. I hope I got it right. My first experience was meeting MPP John Hastings at a community event when I was 10 at North Kipling Community Center. And yes, big shout out to municipal councilors. They grind hard.
Gotcha. Yes.
Okay. The Inspired Thought says, what we need to do is start just sitting on corporate boards and be visible and learn about governance. Well, you got to be allowed to come on corporate boards, but I do agree.
There's a lot of board seats, not corporate, but within the city that are open. And
yes,
people put them out, and I don't know if a lot of us even.
Yes, that is true. Yes, I do
apply.
get emails every once in a while. Cities looking for people to sit on certain boards or on certain initiatives. That is true. There are some organizations that put it out there, and we don't take it for whatever reason.
Right.
Understood. Oh man, the comments are flying here. Okay, I got to come back. Whoa. Just like all of a sudden I said, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Welcome Ryan Singh saying the youth entrepreneurship is great.
It's good to see you,
I have missed. My apologies, people. I missed a whole bunch of things. Okay, here we go. Ripple effect, modified seeds. LinkedIn user says the quote green revolution unquote in India in the 1960s absolutely destroyed their agriculture industry.
Wow.
The effects are still present today. Monsanto was one of the biggest culprits. Oh, that's a big organization. That's a huge company.
Yes,
Monsanto. Huge. LinkedIn user. Speaking about seeds, the quote green revolution unquote. Okay, we got this. Already got that. Sorry about that. So Ray, agree, but not answering random numbers. But what if someone who's close in emergency calling from a different number? As a father, I always answer my phone. You never know. But when I'm seeing, well, I pretty much know a lot of people who call me. When I'm seeing numbers from area codes I don't recognize, but that's just me. But I respect your opinion as always, Ray.
Yes.
Inspired thought. Even if we don't care about anyone right, we said that. So it was a group of comments that I missed. Let's make this weekend. How's work? Okay, we're catching up. Okay, the inspired thoughts is what we need to do is just sit down. Okay, we talked about corporate boards. Okay, the inspired thought, yes, demographics is tracked. So would that mean if I called up the city of Toronto and I could get maybe I should do that as an experiment. How could I find out the demographic result turnout of the last Toronto election?
I like that experiment. Keep
Like
us in
put
the
on the note.
loop.
Okay, how to find out?
Because from my amateur Googling skills, I could not find any breakdown.
That would be last. That okay. That's a good homework piece.
Mm-hmm.
How to find, like, is it tracked demographically? All right. Ryan Singh also says it is tracked. Okay, so a few people saying it's tracked.
Okay.
Sophia Jacob, Ottawa. Folks need to understand that it comes under municipal, provincial, and federal. What comes under municipal, provincial, and federal?
Right.
Folks often mix or cross issues and end up in the wrong space or understanding where they need to direct their issues to. Interesting enough, earlier on this week, on Monday afternoon, I was on a call with Minister Hussein,
Okay.
talking about housing
Mm.
and how much they're putting money into housing. But he also said at the end, he said, look, it's not just a federal thing. Housing comes down also to provincial and municipal, especially municipal with codes.
Oh.
So he says, if those three levels of government, especially municipal, can work with the federal, it could amplify the opportunities for housing in Canada for melanated individuals. He wanted to make that point before he jumped. He really wanted to emphasize that point that we can only do so much at a federal level, right?
Gotcha.
Because the land where Ryan's on, that's not a federal issue. That's a municipal issue. You know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, on that. Ray is our man, knows about land and housing and developments and all that. So definitely good point, Sophia. And also, I have to respond to your message. You want to meet next week, so I'll be responding to you text wise today. Next comment: there are a few we can make a difference. North areas, probably North Ajax, West Brampton, North Etobicoke, Humber, River Black Creek. So those are areas where there's a high concentration of melanated individuals. Would you agree with that, Ryan?
North Etobicoke. Yep, and that's actually where Delta Family Resource Center is located. So understanding that we do have these concentrations, it's now how do we coordinate each other, communicate, vote as a block to have influence? Because when we start showing that influence, that's when political powers that be are going to pay attention, because we can sway the vote. And in Brampton, they'll tell you being able to organize a specific block of the Black community helped Patrick Brown get voted in. And so now how do you expand that leverage and actually use it to get things done?
Actually, too, another great example about that is, again, I mentioned a few moments ago, Federal Minister Hussein, the riding he lives in, North York Western, heavily populated by Somalis and Muslim population. So they put a lockdown in that riding for now. The inspired choice. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was thinking of Brampton, where they said West Brampton, and so last federal politics, Jermaine Chambers was going up against Camille Cara, and you would think, because there's such a large concentration of Blacks living in West Brampton, you always think like, oh, it's a shoo-in, but that's where, because we're not organized, we're not able to collect, and we also don't know who has the better plan for the Black community. So if somebody has been doing good work, then a person, just because you're Black, you're not going to automatically get the vote. I think that's something that we wishful thinking. It's like, oh, because I'm a Black candidate, now automatically everybody that's Black should vote for me. And that is not how politics works. So that's something that we definitely have to learn.
Or as they say, inogoso, right?
Yes.
All right. The inspired thought says, yes, Brampton was chosen. They understand politics, are organized, and very strategic. Yep. The blueprint's right in our faces in the greater Toronto.
Strategic is the main word. It's like, it doesn't happen by accident.
No.
It has to be purposeful.
Ripple Effect says, Scarborough, but did you know Michael Couteau's writing is being wiped out? I did not know that. And the correct spelling of his name, by the way, is Couteau, by the way. Being wiped out, wasn't aware.
He sent an email showing how I think it's Don Valley East is being
Yes.
split up. I was like, I didn't know that was happening, and it's a weird way they're doing it. So
That's
really
another thing too. So thanks, thanks both of you for bringing that to my attention, because I don't live too far from the former writing now. I don't live too far from it, so that's interesting. Kuba On says the internet is not good enough in Shelburne. LOL.
We'll get fiber out there soon.
There you go. Ray says, Dr. Vibe, which community apart from Malvern or Moulton has a significant Black population to impact municipal politics? Well, that, I guess if we got that a little bit earlier in regards to, and that's something, again, you talk about control of municipal. I don't know if it's basically done yet, but for those who grew up in Scarborough, Malvern Town Center.
Okay, yes.
I think in the near future, that town center is going to be torn down and condos are going up there.
Yep.
That was not a federal decision. That may be a provincial decision, but definitely the municipal was involved in that.
Right.
But I don't know about any other areas, as we said earlier on, with these are the areas allegedly that there's a heavy melanated population. So this is good. The inspired thoughts going, yes, we can create Wakanda as soon as some people get over themselves. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Get the egos out of the way. I see Wakanda happening outside, but west before Toronto. Out west, okay. And there is a significant melanated population in places like Alberta, by the way.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, we haven't had this name drop on one of our conversations. Dr. Umar Johnson has some views that may not be well taken by some. He has a very good perspective on why other minority groups, East Indians, Chinese, Jewish, became successful and get influence within politics and society as a whole. It's interesting. If you look at those groups, a lot of the blueprint is the same.
Absolutely.
They looked at another group. Okay, let's just replicate and put it into our own lens and let's make it happen. A great example I use are the Greeks. They are less in numbers than example Jamaicans, not even a whole Black community. Look at Danforth versus Little Jamaica. You know why? They own the land.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yes.
Like, as I've seen, and I'm not being bad, not being to say a hater, but in the long run, Little Jamaica, if you don't own the land, there's only so much you can do.
Exactly. And we're seeing it. And we're seeing how it's playing out.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do if you don't own the land.
Yeah.
Right? Ray says Shelburne's population is 10,000 people. Less than 10% identify as Black. That is a small drop in the bucket, no ripple effect. Don't see how impactful that will even be a generation in the future. Wow. Well, you know what? You know what? That would have set up a great conversation. You could get Ray versus Steve on the same conversation together.
And maybe it can act as the initial pilot blueprint to say, what does it look like for us to take over a town? And then,
Ray comes with some serious game here, though. The population is 10,000 people. Less than 10% identify as Black. Like, again, geez, I'm gonna have to see if I can put my investigative hat on. I'd like to know the population of different areas. Well, in Canada, we're only 4% of the population, right there. But where are this? Like where you are in Durham now, that's heavily Black population.
Apparently, it's the highest
concentration of melanated people in Canada. So my question is, why ain't something happening there?
Gotcha. Absolutely.
Maybe it's time for you to run again. The inspired thought: the parties track their voters.
Yes.
And then saying start with riding associations.
Right. That's people might not even know what riding associations are.
There you go again.
That's something I had to get explained to be like, how does that even work? And a lot of people don't know. I was one of them. So that is definitely true.
Yeah. Most people self-identify in the sentence but okay. LinkedIn user in the US, they conduct exit polls, which is how they can get general idea of the voter demographics of voters. It would probably have something similar in Canada, but overall Canada is not so great when it comes to tracking race-based data. Absolutely, that's true. At least compared to the US, absolutely. Ripple
Yeah.
effect, you missed my Scarborough comment. I think we caught it in regards to Michael Couteau's writing. If not, remind me again. The Inspire thought we need to start showing up at council meetings in numbers. Shuttle the older people and be interested to meetings if necessary.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because there's the actual latent election date, but what energy is there happening in between elections?
Yes.
Kuba On says a ripple effect. Scarborough is a good example. Malvern is a strong area, but home ownership wins. I'm not sure what the home ownership in the Black community is in Scarborough. I don't think, definitely it's not as much as it was 10 or 15 years ago because many melanated people in Scarborough moved out to Durham.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's why I'm saying Durham has the opportunity to step up because I said highest concentration of Black Canadians in Canada is in the Durham region. Enough said.
Yes.
Ray says Patrick Brown got voted by South Asians, not Black folks. Go look at the results of the elections. Also look at which ethnic group is building industrial and commercial spaces across Peel. Facts again.
So
Land.
that's true. But what I was saying is, for example, Patrick Brown won, I think by 2,000 votes his first time running. He was able to gather 5,000 Black voters. That swayed the result. So it's not to say all 30,000 were from the Black community, agreed, but since there was a block, that helped him win. And so that block has leverage. So how do you actually amplify that so that it's 15,000 that's voting as a block? Then you get a lot more attention because you can sway votes more effectively. So the South Asians came together, just like Ray said, and really led the charge because they have a lot of population. But that doesn't discount.
Does that mean you're in demand?
Yeah, I forgot. I put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't know why.
That's okay.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
I didn't hit the button. But yeah, so it's when we organize, we actually have more weight. And the more we organize, the more weight that we have.
So basically, I will put it this way. We got to stop playing checkers and start playing chess.
Hey, there you go. Let's learn the rules of the game. Like,
know how to play the
what game we're playing,
yeah,
we have to know the rules.
So Ryan Singh says that split happened up in Scarborough North. Ripple effect, no problems. Problems with the fingers today. You can tell I write his name at least once per week. No problem. I know what you're talking about. Inspired thought, home ownership is important, but it is not the key to success. Communication, consistent presence, an agenda, and organized persistence is key. I think those things are also key. But again, I'm going to get back to things. If you don't own nothing, you don't got nothing because we live in a capitalistic society. And capitalism is based on what do you own? So I think all those things are important. I think ownership, not just home, but ownership is key, period. Ownership is key.
Right. And we should be aspiring towards ownership. We shouldn't be aspiring to rent for the rest of our lives.
Oh, Ray's bringing the heat. Wakanda is fictional. Let's look at first employing our own. Until we have start creating employment, everything else is just chatter. So I'm just going to add on to what Ray said. Everyone loves their Black Panther. But at the end of the day, it was controlled by non-melanated people.
Right.
Like the studio that produced it ain't owned by us.
Right.
So it's us through someone else's lenses. Because at the end of the day, the person who said check to that project, it can go through, didn't look like us.
Something interesting that I also saw on a YouTube video I was watching was explaining that now the term Black Panther is actually erasing the true Black Panthers that had started in the US.
Yes.
Now the fictional thing is covering over actual real impactful work. And it made me pause because it made a lot of sense that now, like you said,
Mm.
something that's not controlled by us, that Ray
Yeah,
is saying is fictional, is
yeah.
actually
So
erasing it. When you Google search it, that comes up first
yeah, because
before.
they controlled their direction, the Black Panthers back in the 60s and
Right.
70s. Whereas the movie, everyone goes, oh, great. But at the end of the day, it was made by Warner. I think it was Warner Studios. Or Marvel ain't owned by a melanated person.
Right.
All right.
And so we should be
Marvel.
thinking about how do we duplicate the actual work instead of something that's fictional. So I agree with that.
Okay. Uh, let's go here. I am from Malton and live close to Malvern. Malton has a very strong Black ownership base. So does Malvern. I can speak to Malvern. To Malton. There is, but it's swallowed by Ward 5. So it's never the focus. Okay. Ripple Effect says, if you can't get the jobs, you can't own the land.
Well, that's how
Okay.
things are connected.
Sophia goes, where your interns can support you, Dr. Bob? They are supporting me. I got more coming on, but I also want you to have some too. So if you want to see if I can help you win in regards to that. But I have another new slate coming on as we speak over the next few weeks. The Times says Dr. Justine Pereira can provide the demographic stats. Absolutely. I want to see if he has for voting though. That's what I'd be looking for. But what he has is a good start. LinkedIn user says, I think we focus too much on the skin color of our politicians and our representatives and not enough on the actual policies that affect our communities. That's an interesting statement. Would we rather see a brown black rep who does a great job or have good policies, or would we rather vote for a white rep who does good?
Oh, so you're saying a black person that doesn't do a good job versus
Doesn't
a
do a good
person
job.
that does.
Sure. Thank you for my correction. A little this morning. Well, I as someone would say, I want someone who's B1, black first.
But do you find that once people get too deep into the political game, they can't be B1 because what comes out, and this was a hot topic in Brampton, a person melanated gets voted in, an issue comes up about the black community, and I think they didn't vote on it or they didn't second it as a motion. So now the argument is, oh, I thought you were for us. We helped, we got a black person got in. Now you should be behind us on our black issues. And they're like, well, the black community didn't really help me get in, so I don't owe you anything. I was like, this is where this. It's very, very touchy.
Well, again,
it's
a very. That would be a great question if we ever get any of the candidates on for them to answer.
But this is where they have to walk that fine line because the majority of votes will not come from the black community. You can't say you're gonna come in there, guns blazing, Wakanda B1.
Can't do that.
Alienate your voter. It's a very difficult position to be in.
Absolutely. Racing, the highest concentration of black folks is Northwest Toronto. Okay, I'm corrected. Bathurst west of the 427. Okay, I'm picturing that. Yes. And St. Clair north to Steers. Everywhere else the populations are insignificant. So he's saying basically that northwest part of Toronto is where the heaviest so I guess the term black would also include Muslims, Somalis, etc. Then I would agree with you there, Ray. Okay. Strategic collaboration and movement in the corporate and nonprofit world in your community is important. That is one of the strategies used by South Asians. True. And Ray is saying, and 80,000 South Asian voters. I'm giving you real numbers, Ryan. I'm not speculating. Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They carry the vote, but our block still influences the result. If that block of black voters weren't there, Patrick Brown would have lost. So that has value. We're not South Asians, so we don't have the 80,000. And again, look at that. It was split. All those 80,000 didn't vote for Patrick Brown. Half of them voted for somebody else. So this is what actually only 30,000 or less voted for him. So how much are they really for him?
Okay. Ryan, have you heard this term a lot in your life?
100%.
A day?
100%. Every day,
Every day.
organize
Yeah.
and collaboration
And
is
that's
the
another
only
thing.
way.
And I'm gonna say this to people. They will say things like that to Ryan, but Elder Louis March would say, "What are you doing?" And I
Or
don't mean
show
that, and I just mean that generally. I'm not mean to the inspire thought, but a lot of times we'll say, "Hey, you should be doing this. You should be doing this." But Elder Louis March would say, "Okay, what are you doing?"
Right.
And again, not directly to inspire, but I'm saying that generally to all of us. What are we doing in our own little space? Here we go. I agree. We need to play chess. However, our community sometimes is timid to come to the table. We have so many battle scars from the past. They minimize our voice and our influence. Okay, they minimize ourselves. Why are we letting other people define us? The only person that can minimize my voice is me. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, don't let other people define us. I would say from what you said, the battle scars from our past should even make us more passionate today.
True.
Just my thought. The inspired goes, true, Ray, we need to stop the chatter. Christopher Lawrence, the new representative for the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce, is with us. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he was up. He was big up at their press conference the other day.
Oh, what was the press conference about?
About their expo coming up on Monday.
Wow, they did a whole press conference. That's cool.
No, he didn't do a whole one. They asked him to come up, and he's the man now. So I'm not important anymore. Christopher Lawrence and Ryan are.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
still working my way up.
Yeah, just joined the conversation now. Well, you are too popular for us, Mr. Lawrence. That's why you're just joining in now. Kumakan says, in addition to chess and community collaboration, our community is divided. We have white collar versus blue collar, uptown, Durham versus non-uptown. How do we build unity? You know what? I think that's another conversation topic for our show. We got to invite some people.
I love that. Yeah, because it takes communication and actual strategy. Unity does not happen by accident. It must be purposeful.
Well, I also think egos got to go to the side and trauma has to be reduced. Roger Dundas, how many people are going to the CBC? You, Roger, you're going there, aren't you? You're going there.
Doesn't he have to? Like, he has to cover this stuff.
No, well, how many people
media must be there? Dr. Vibe, aren't you going to cover the event?
I have not been reached out directly to even have anyone on.
That is unfortunate.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying they had their press conference at Afro Global, which is great, but I don't know. I have not been contacted by anyone from the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce to have them talk about their expo. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And I know a number of people at that organization. No one's reached out to me. So I'll just, like I said, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And again, the more I know, the less I understand. Roger Dundas, you and your beautiful, beautiful wife, Camille Dundas, run BuyBlacks.com. Black Canada does #1 online magazine. I know you do dealings, your organization does dealings with the CBCC. Did they reach out to you in regards to doing any sort of coverage to promote it? Maybe they did.
I hope so.
They didn't reach out to me. And I say, I know a number of people in that organization. Nothing. I'll leave it at that. As a representative, you are to represent your constituents, whether they are Black, Brown, East Asian, etc. If there is a community that is predominantly Black, then B1 would make sense, which is why Brampton politicians cater to South Asians. But most communities around the GTA, for example, are mixed. So you can't realistically have someone who is B1 when you have a mixed community.
Hey, that prototypical politician's answer right there. Like, that's what every politician will tell you. If you ask them about, are you B1? If you're from the Black community, they will say, our communities are mixed. We can't be only for the Black community. And even if the community is predominantly Black, there's still enough non-Blacks that they usually vote more, so they hold more weight than the Black community that typically doesn't come out to vote. So somebody should have screenshotted that. So if you're ever going to get into politics, there's your answer. If you're from the Black community and don't want to be B1, like this is your excuse. Yes.
All right. The inspired thought: Black politicians can only be held accountable if we're in front of them all the time. You must show that you care. Fitness IQ says, Roger, I'm trying to attend. The inspired thought about the expo on Monday: we are our biggest problem, not the other. They are scared of us. Okay. You saw that. Oh, you saw that. Yes, we saw you at the press conference. I know you wanted us to see you at the press conference.
Was it not supposed to be recorded?
No, you saw you wanted to be in the spotlight. So don't give me that you saw that. LOL. Don't even go there. Don't even go there. Ray goes, Ryan, you may have more weight in Peel than in Durham. The economy of Peel creates much more opportunity for impact. Largest Black population, largest employers, and all the infrastructure.
Hey, valid.
Ripple effect. Interesting. You can't get my comments anymore. I've been getting your comments. I will be there on Monday and we'll reveal who Kuba. Good. Is Hayton. Community building starts wherever you are. Start building the process. Agreed. The inspired thought. The same. I will attend as well.
Nice.
Okay. So he's talking about the CBCC. They did send a press release out to everyone. I didn't get. No, I did get one. I did get a press release. I have to correct. So I am correct. I did get. Well, did I get a press release? I think. Well, I got something just announcing it. I don't know if there was anything about contact for interviews. I don't know. Well, it's in the past, anyways, because it's Monday. CBCC Dr. Vibe needs a media booth at the expo, please.
I agree.
Roger says, no, the CBCC did not pitch it specifically. That's the answer we were looking for. Okay. Neither did I get pitched specifically. So, and hey, why you're not pitching it to the largest, not the number one Black online magazine in Canada, the more I know, the less I understand.
Yes.
Ray says, agreed, Hayton. It starts with family, extended family, friends, and neighbors, and it grows from there. Ripple says, I was saying poor Black neighborhood voted in Adam Vaughan. Joe Cressy voted out Olivia Chow, one of the most powerful writings in Toronto. Okay. Oh, Christopher says, Dr. Vibe, I love you because I've become your PR representative. That's why.
Let's get in the pub.
Fitness IQ Cam, I wish I had my headphones. Seeing the chat shows me how much of a great conversation is happening. Yes, because you're probably watching on mute. That's probably why. Roger says they sent several press releases. I didn't get any of them. But that's a whole other conversation. The more I know, I less understand. But so if Monday, if you can make it out to their event, make it out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going, Ryan?
We actually have a funding announcement happening on Monday.
There you go.
I'll be able to come in the afternoon. I'll stop by and check it out, but not in the morning.
Okay. And Roger gets some good insight. With all due respect, Ryan, it is not an excuse. It's just fact. Just look how the Indian politicians got into politics in Brampton. I mean, 30 years ago, before much of any South Asian population in Brampton. Did you know the largest minorities were Portuguese and Polish at that time? How were the Indian politicians voted in when there was next to no Indian population? They had no, quote, Indian first, unquote, policies. And now look what happened. Over the last 3 decades, about 70-80% South Asian immigrants. There's got to be a ... under that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it continues or no?
There's got to be more, but that's a long rant. I like it.
Roger says, I didn't say it was an excuse. I said it's the prototypical answer that politicians can use if asked that question, because it is true. So That's why you can't be B1 for the reasons stated, and you have to figure out another way. But we haven't seen any Black politician figure out another way. South Asians have, not Black politicians.
Roger Dennis says the Black Chamber of Commerce got funded by FedDev. They are not doing this for the money, so they need to market it extensively. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Again, Make It Happen show. Greetings. Watch the replay. The show goes on Monday. It goes until 8 p.m.
Nice.
Well,
yeah, I'll be able to stop by.
Enjoy the traffic. Christopher Lawrence, looking forward to making guest appearance on the Morning Vibe show with Ryan and yourself soon versus later. Well, you know how to get in contact with us, but now since you're a media star, I guess we're too small for you. You own your podium now. All right. LinkedIn user over the last few decades, about 17% it came from Brampton. Because of that, they set a foothold and built on that. So I guess that's the rest. So yeah, over the last few decades, that was the last sentence. Sophia goes, Ryan, what's the funding announcement? Interested? Can't say. All right.
Because they might reschedule. I don't like saying when their politicians are going to show up. Then it's like, oh, there's been Joe Biden's coming to town, so we have to cancel. And
exactly.
Like until it's done, then I'll let you know.
So Finance IQ can goes, I like Sophia's energy. She has great energy. If you want her contact information, reach out to me. Ray says the Macmillan says the municipal politics is about municipal development. Municipal development means money. Some communities have money, some don't. Hence the surge in influence.
100%. Yes.
There you go.
That's something that us as potential politicians seem to forget, is that government is designed to manage money. They are the treasury of the country or the province or the city. A lot of times I see Black politicians running on welfare campaigns where it's like, oh, we're going to support XYZ. And, but that's not the main focus of the government offices. Government offices take in our tax dollars and then decide where to distribute it. We have to get good at understanding how money flows so that it can actually support the communities and empower us properly, not just by creating more welfare programs.
It all gets down to knowing the rules of the game.
Yes, exactly.
It really is.
And the function of the win. Like, you have to know the rules in order to come out the winner. We don't understand the rules, so we can never benefit from how the game is won.
On that point, we're calling it a wrap. Family, Freestyle Friday was freely, funky, and fulfilling. Yes. I had to get those FFs there. What's going on over the weekend, sir?
So as I mentioned, we have our youth entrepreneurs graduating tomorrow. What else is happening? Yeah, and I think just getting prepared for the massive expo happening on Monday seems to be exciting. I'm sorry that I missed the press conference. I'll definitely go look for that recording so I can watch. But
I don't know if it's on their Facebook page. It's on the CBCC face, so you'd be able to see it there. And they have Patricia Juggernaut is going to be there.
Patricia,
remember the city reporter? She left City because she felt she wasn't being treated fairly. So she's one of their headliners, and they have Skip Dillard, who used to be with, I don't know if he still is with WBLK, etc.
Okay. That's awesome. So what are you up to? I know Black Canada Talking's happening.
Yeah, we have a round table happening. We have State of Things tomorrow night, Black Canada Talking on Sunday. Monday we have some guests coming on. Again, I said at the beginning, from the Canadian Council from Youth Prosperity, talking about their Black Seed Employment Program. Wonderful. And whatever else comes up in between.
Wonderful. Love it.
So, family, it's scrolling along the bottom. That's where you can catch replays. The Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Facebook, Afro Caribbean Business Network, Facebook and YouTube, Ryan Oneil Knight, YouTube and LinkedIn.
Yes.
I got it in this time. Yay. If you want to subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, preferably, and also hit the notification button, like on Facebook, but wherever you're watching this, subscribe, like, and tell other people about it. If you want to get a hold of me, website, the drvibeshow.com, email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, the Dr. Vibe Show, Twitter at drvibeshow, and Instagram at the drvibeshow. If you want to promote your business or service on the show, contact me, or just if you want to contact me in general, there's my email address, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. It's a wrap. We are done. We can even get people fired up with even nobody coming on. And one last comment. Chinese and Tamils in Markham and Italians in Vaughan Woodbridge use the same path as the Indians in Brampton. They actually did it before. A lot of those groups. The Italians used to be concentrated in Toronto, down where my dad used to teach, Bathurst and College area, Little Italy.
Mm-hmm.
They ran that. Then they migrated to Vaughan. They ran that. And one of the key things is they probably owned the land in both those areas.
Right. Be able to leverage it.
Leverage, another important word. So, family, we are done. We hope you have an outstanding weekend. Thanks for making an epic conversation as always. We will see you wherever you are in the world. I believe that's Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Yes.
Take care. Be well. Remember to live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace and just don't manage your time, manage your energy. Thanks again for another outstanding show, everyone. Well done.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Monday. Be well.